Hey guys, it's Michael. Feeling motivated, so I'm gonna jump into these offensive linemen. This is my next position group for the Dolphins. Um, Guys I target. Um, I like a certain playing style. Like if you think like Larry Allen, Kevin Gogan, I don't know if you remember him from the Niners, was nasty. Uh, Richie Incognito, Joe Staley, like guys like that, like physical, nasty, mean guys. Like that's the kind of play style I like. So going into this list, there might be some controversy because I have a certain guy ranked higher than another guy people are really high on. And pardon me with the glasses. I'm not used to wearing these, so they kind of irritate me. So that being said, I lumped uh, guards and tackles together just to I have a short list of guys I identified as targets. And keep in mind, this is specifically for the Dolphins. You know, there might be other guys that aren't on my list that have great careers, good for them. But yeah, this list is just for the Dolphins. So what I look for, guards, I typically like to be in that 6'4", 6'6" range, 300, ideally 320 to 25 pounds. But if they're a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger, I'm not hard and fast on the weight, unless it's just too small or just way too big. Pardon me. Pause. Yeah, guards I like to be, their center of gravity to be a little bit lower. Tackles I don't mind being like 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", maybe, depending on their frame. And also all my offensive, well, I'll just say my fat boys, the offensive and defensive linemen, particularly the defensive tackles. They all have to come from the South because I'm a big guy myself. I'm 6'4", 300 pounds. Lived in South Florida most of my life. I didn't play at this weight, but just walking around at this weight with this heat and the humidity is not pleasant. So if you're not from the South and you're not used to playing and moving around in this weather down here during the summers and the fall, chances are it's not going to be too good for you. And if you think about it, and maybe this is a coincidence, but our best offensive linemen have all come from the South, minus one or two guys. Like in the last 10 years, like you had Mike Pouncey from Florida. Who else? Patrick Paul, Houston. He's been pretty good. Laramie Tunsil, Mississippi. We haven't had too many offensive linemen that have been great. Connor Williams, Texas. Aaron Brewer, another Texas guy. There's a couple outliers like Brandon Albert was from Virginia, and Richie Incognito played in Nebraska. But aside from those guys, most of the offensive linemen that have done well have come from the South. That being said, I want to jump into this list. My number one offensive lineman is, I put guard and tackle, although he hasn't played much guard. Francis Maui Noah from Miami, 6'5", 330, PFF grade 82.6 overall. Pass blocking grade 87, run blocking grade 77.1, zone blocking grade 74.3. I put frame and skill set more suited for interior, but plays position well. That's right tackle. Quick feet, powerful, lets guys into his chest a lot, but uses hands effectively to recover and anchor properly. Looks for work consistently, moves defenders in the run game, shows ass whoop at times. I'm gonna put an asterisk next to Francis Maui Noah because it just came out that he has a herniated disc. It supposedly hasn't been giving him problems, but excuse me, I don't know how long that'll last. And a guy I was really high on, who's been kind of plagued by injuries, right tackle coming out of college, Tevin Jenkins. I almost said Tevin Campbell. Tevin Jenkins played right tackle at I think it was Oklahoma State. I believe that was correct. I got to check that again. I'm blanking. But he was right tackle, dominant, nasty, physical player. Excuse me. He had back issues, and I don't know if it was because of the back issues, but he got moved to guard and bounced around both guard spots. He's had an okay career. Hasn't been anything special. But I just want to keep that in mind for Maui Noah. Like, a lot of people are talking about him going to guard. I did see some guard reps from him, which were fantastic. I like him more at right tackle. But like I said in my notes, his frame is more suited for guard than tackle. But we'll see what happens with that. But that's a guy I've been high on for a long time. My next player, and this is where the controversy starts. I have guard Keelan Rutledge from Georgia Tech. He's 6'4", 315, PFF grade 76.7 overall, pass blocking grade 78.4, run blocking grade 76.8, zone grade 77.4. I have finisher, period. Moves well enough to play all schemes, needs work with hand usage, sustains blocks well, always looking for work, a bit stiff, strong base. Keelan Rutledge, to me, based on, again, I always am going to reiterate, I'm working with limited film. So just based off what I saw personally, his style fits, I think, more than anybody on my list, what I'm looking for. I was real high on Gray Zabel last year. He was dominant, just kind of throwing people around. He played at a smaller school, and the school has escaped. I think it was North Dakota State. I could be wrong about that. But I was real high on him. I even had him as one of my options for the pick at 13 last year when we took Kenneth Grant. I was high on Kenneth Grant as well. But Gray Zabel just won a Super Bowl. So I'm not saying it was because of him, but a Super Bowl caliber team saw something in him that made him a first round pick, and he played pretty well. But not to go off topic, Keelan Rutledge is that kind of player to me. I don't know if I'm hearing he may go in the first round from some people. He'd be a guy that if the buzz is real about him going in the first round, he'd get picked at pick 30. I wouldn't mind just because I'm all for just accumulating good players. Like, if you see something in a guy and you want him, then go get him. Like I said in my wide receiver, uh, excuse me, my wide receiver video, like I was really high on Keenan Allen. I personally would have taken him in the first round, but he didn't go until the third round. And I think if teams had their chance to do it over, they would take Keenan Allen in the first round as well. So if you identify a guy, and let me back up a little bit, because I kind of hate when people say if you feel strongly about a guy and you identify him, then go get him, because that's happened to us a couple times where they identified like Liam Eichenberg and Jonas Savaianaya as guys they really wanted, and they went up and made the effort to get them. But so let me backtrack a little bit. I don't know. I would take Keelan Rutledge. I think it's what, 43, pick 43 we have in the second round. I would take him there if they felt, I think that's adequate value for him. If they felt he wasn't going to be there at 43 and they decided to pick him at 30, or maybe trade back a little bit and pick him then, I wouldn't be too mad at that at all. Just because I think he's that solid of a player. So let me go on to my next guy. Guard Vega Ioane from Penn State. 6'3", 320, PFF grade 80, pass block grade 87, run block grade 78.6, zone grade 72.2. I have great anchor, does not move backwards, uses hands well, doesn't have lateral agility to recover, relies on strength too heavily, gets beat with a swim move often, has enough athleticism to play all schemes. I feel Vega and his grade reflects that. He's very strong in the pass game. He's pretty good in the run game, but I saw things on tape that kind of concerned me as far as him getting beat by, like I mentioned in the notes, by the swim move across the middle. Just a lot of times where he was just whiffing on guys and getting out of position. I saw that more often than I liked. With that being said, if he was the pick at 11 or 30, I don't know if he'll make it to 30, because I'm pretty certain a lot of people are high on him. If he was the pick, I wouldn't be mad at all, because I still think he's a great player. It was just some things that I saw that was like, I don't know. But I wouldn't be mad at all if we took him at either pick in the first round. Excuse me. Let me go to my next player. I've I've heard his name said different ways by a lot of people, so I don't really know how to pronounce his last name because I haven't heard him say his last name anywhere. But it's right tackle Max. The way I see it is Knocker. I'm sorry, a Hanachor. I'll just say a Hanachor from Arizona State University. He is 6'5", 321, PFF grade 72.5, pass block grade 78.3, run block grade 66.8, zone grade 68.1. For my notes, I have great build, long arms, keeps base throughout rep, really solid kick step, too quick to open up frame, late hands allow guys to get in his chest at times, solid athlete, doesn't sustain blocks, A bit raw, but can probably be coached up. He's a guy that I wasn't real high on Patrick Paul coming out. I knew it was going to take some time for him to develop. He developed a lot faster than I thought he would. Excuse me. I see Max as kind of the same type of player, where it's going to take some time for him to be coached up. But his athleticism and size, like, if you can get him on Patrick Paul's level, I think that'd be phenomenal to have those two guys bookending the offensive line. I don't know where he's going to go in the draft. I've heard the end of the first round. I probably wouldn't pull the trigger on him that early. Yeah, I'm not as high on him as a lot of other people are. I'll just say that for him to go in the first round, I don't think that's a good idea. But anyway, on to my next one. This guy came up really late in my process. I think I just added him like 2 days ago. I was just scrolling through PFF's big board, just looking at guys that fit my criteria. I didn't see him early in the process. Like I said, I just was scrolling a couple days ago and noticed him. But he's a right tackle, Keegan Trost out of Missouri. 6'4", 311, PFF grade 92, pass block grade 85.4, run block grade 91.4, and zone grade 91.6. I didn't see a lot on him, but he's another guy that what I did see, I felt like I wouldn't mind taking a shot at him on him late. I don't think PFF had him rated like in the 200s, so I don't think he's going to go high unless somebody just really likes him. But I put people mover, position flexibility, solid athlete, older player, been around the block. I think he's been to like 4 different schools. I would probably put him at guard. He's a little bit small for my personal taste to play tackle. But I think he moves well enough that he'd be a solid guard. And I may go back and look at more film on all these guys to really see like who stands out. But from what I've seen so far, these are my guys so far. So that's it for offensive linemen. Appreciate you watching. Next up is, who do I have next? I have D-line. I got a good list. So that'll be next up, probably tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to do that tonight. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.